Delanco Township Committee Meeting of May 18, 2026, beginning at 7 p.m. at the Delanco Township Municipal Building, 770 Coopertown Road, Delanco, New Jersey. Mayor, we are recording and we are live on YouTube.
Oh, great. Okay. Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to the May 18th, 2026 Township Committee Meeting. Can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Bartlett.
Here.
Mr. McFadden.
Here.
Mr. Olet.
Here.
Ms. Seuss. Here. Ms. Fitzpatrick.
Here. Also present, Mrs. Russell, our municipal clerk, Mrs. Hart, our deputy municipal clerk, and Mr. Warren, our police chief. Please join me in the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
These ones do your own. It's called unison.
Bev, would you read the sunshine statement, please?
Yes. Please be advised the proper notice of this meeting has been given in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act in the following manner. Written notice has been mailed to the Burlington County Times, Courier Post, and published in the December 28, 2025 editions. Written notice has been posted on the official bulletin board of the Township of Delanco at least 48 hours prior to the meeting. Live stream statement. This meeting of the Delanco Township Committee may be transmitted via live stream on YouTube video. The streaming of the meeting is not intended to be relied upon as formal public access under Open Public Meetings Act, and if the technology is disrupted for any reason, the township meeting will proceed in person as an official meeting in accord with the official notice. Please silence your cell phones and refer to the rules governing public comment attached to the agenda.
Thank you, Beth. I would like to have a moment of silence at this time for James Lewis from Newton's Landing, who did pass away this month. Thank you. Okay, up on the agenda, ordinance 2026-7, a bond ordinance of the Township of Delanco and the County of Burlington authorizing the construction of municipal improvements to township facilities, further authorizing the acquisition of vehicles and equipment appropriating the total sum of $660,855. Therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $627,812.25 bonds or notes of the township for financing such appropriations and making certain determinations and covenants and authorizing certain related actions in connection with the foregoing. This is the second reading by title only and a public hearing. So the meeting is now open to the public for this ordinance. There being none, I'll close this portion of the meeting to the public and ask if the Township Committee has any questions, or can I have a motion to approve this ordinance?
So moved.
Second. Nope. Scott's got it.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bartlett.
Yes.
Mr. McFadden.
Yes.
Mr. Olet.
Yes.
Ms. Seuss. Yes. Ms. Fitzpatrick.
Yes. Meeting is open to the public for comments and questions on agenda items for session 1. There being none, I'll close this portion of the meeting to the public. And we will have comments and reports. Mrs. Russell, I guess, well, maybe I'll go to the police chief first.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. On May 7th, I had the opportunity to attend Broward County Prosecutor's Office Pro Cops Award benefit. Officer Adam Lippick, along with several other detectives from our county and 2 from Philadelphia, were given awards for their joint efforts in cracking the auto theft ring that was based out of Jersey, but working over in Philadelphia as well. His efforts, he just did really, really good work with his investigations, getting good intel that other departments were able to use And then once we realized it was over in Philadelphia as well, they coordinated efforts with them and got the desired result of actually getting people actually arrested and charged. He right now is slated to become our next sergeant, so hopefully that'll happen within the next couple months. So very happy and proud of his work.
That's good.
And then last week, Officer Lippick as well as Detective Correa and Officer Vaccaro, they participated in the Unity Tour bike ride from New Jersey all the way down to Washington, D.C. They left Saturday morning on the 9th, arrived in D.C. on Tuesday, and were there for the ceremonies, and they came back home on Thursday. So it's nice they were able to represent our department and our township.
That's so
it's pretty
nice,
cool.
yeah.
And they were, I found out they were actually, their group, they have partners with Burleson City, Riverside, and Delran, and the three of them actually completed the entire tour. They didn't stop. They rode all the way down, took the only breaks at the end of the day. One day they rode about 82 miles. So they
Wow,
actually did.
that's wonderful.
In the rain. So
Yeah.
they did good. So it was for a good event and a good cause. So yeah, I'm very proud of them. So. And then officers attended the car show this past weekend. Everybody said it was very well planned and it was a good success. So
Yeah,
we
it
were
was.
happy to be involved and part of it. So
Thank you for all the things you're doing with the department.
trying to.
Yeah, you're
when it's
doing a
out
good
there,
job.
and when it's out there involved, but also being more community oriented, where people can see us and we'll be involved in different things, not just passing through, but actually be a part of it. And so that way people get to know us and know the officers. We're a lot of young guys. So the goal is to get people familiar with everybody. So
Good.
that's good. So,
Thank you, Chief.
and last thing is getting ready for the parade on Sunday.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, Mrs. Russell, you're now up.
Okay. So a combination thing with Ms. Seminara not being here, there's a couple of things on the agenda that I think that she would point out for you. There is an introduction of ordinance 2026-08, which adds pavers as an option for sidewalk replacement. The copy in your packet says 2026-06, but it's actually 2026-08. There is a resolution on the consent agenda for WEX Sourcewell fleet cards for fuel purchases. As you know, this June, our diesel and gasoline tanks will be going offline. We found them to be too costly to repair and rehab, and there was a lot of site work that would have to be done to really bring everything up to code to be able to have a fueling station. So Ms. Seminara has been working with members of our fuel co-op. We supply fuel to different departments and entities in Delanco and in Beverly, so that everyone can come up with a different source for fuel. The fleet cards will be more efficient, and we think will save us money in the long run. And we're going to combine with the school for their use also. They're going to have fleet cards similar to us. There's also a resolution on the agenda authorizing consumption of alcohol during the 250th celebration concert. This resolution is very basic. It's kind of a precursor to any future resolution that would have details of the event. So, for instance, right now there is no vendor that has been approved. There's one that Recreation or the Heritage Committee have been speaking with. They would be someone that would have a retail license to sell beer to the public in open containers, and they would be issued a limited license from the state. So there's a lot of different things that would have to happen before they would be approved or their agreement approved. You would have to do a resolution at a follow-up meeting, and that would be all of the details of the event. The full time where a beer garden tent would be located, how many drinks would be able to be sold, all of those details would be in a follow-up resolution. Should this one pass tonight, that would just allow it to happen. A vendor could not go out for a license if they didn't know that it was going to be a possibility. So I know it seems a little strange putting the cart before the horse, but it's just the precursor of any detailed resolution to come, should there be an agreement. And then finally, I attended the monthly community block development grant meeting with the county, and our 2025 CDBG project is fully funded for $95,000 for sidewalk ramp repair and installation. And tomorrow, Alex Hafner from ERI and I will be meeting with the CDBG team to go over the application compliance and our project as it will be going out to bid probably in the next month.
Okay, thank you, Beth.
Can I ask about a question?
Sure.
For the CDBG, did we find out if the engineering fees were able to be taken out of that grant?
Yes,
They are?
Mhm.
Awesome.
so that'll save a little money there.
Yeah, good.
Great. Thanks.
Mrs. Hart?
The only thing that I have is that I was able to attend the car show this weekend and so that the township able. It was very, very well attended and it was nice to interact with all the residents and answer questions and see everybody and it was a great day.
Yes, good, thank you. Township Committee, Carolyn?
Yes, thank you. Just want to start off by saying good evening to everyone. Just wanted to take a few moments to say thank you and reflect on what an incredible day and weekend we had in Delanco for our Centennial Classic Car Show. For a long time, I've always wanted to bring a true car show event to Delanco, something that could showcase our beautiful waterfront, bring people together, support our Centennial celebration, and create a fun community atmosphere for residents and visitors alike. Seeing that vision finally come to life this past weekend was honestly very special. What we witnessed exceeded all expectations. We welcomed over 148 vehicles from all over the region, and throughout the day, thousands of people visited Delaware Avenue and our waterfront. The feedback has been overwhelmingly positive, not just about cars, but about Delanco itself, our community spirit, our hospitality, and how beautiful our town looked. An event like this does not happen because of one person. It takes an entire team, and I want to sincerely thank everyone who helped make this possible. Thank you to the Delanco Heritage Celebration Subcommittee, the Delanco Recreation Commission, Township Committee, our Police Department, Public Works, emergency personnel, volunteers, sponsors, vendors, musicians, and every single person who donated their time and energy to make the event run smoothly. Special thanks to Erin Provenzano, our rec coordinator, for her help with the show, as well as all the other events throughout the year. I especially want to thank our residents for their patience and understanding with the road closures, traffic, parking adjustments, and the large crowds throughout the day. We know events of this size can be disruptive at times, and we truly appreciate the community embracing the celebration and supporting the effort. Most importantly, thank you to everyone who attended, seeing families walking the avenue, kids taking pictures with the vehicles, neighbors reconnecting, and visitors experiencing Delanco for the first time reminded us exactly why events like this matter. The car show became much more than just a display of vehicles. It became a community event that brought people together and highlighted the pride we all have in Delanco. Based on the incredible turnout and response, I can confidently say we hope to do it again next year and make it even bigger and better. Thanks again to everyone who helped make this such an unforgettable success. So I was in full car show mode for the past month, but I did manage to attend our shade tree meeting on 422. There was one application for a tree removal and sidewalk on Colgate. They decided not to take down that tree. On 5/5, I attended the OEM meeting, basically to go over the plans for the events. Now on 5/6, I attended the Board of Education budget meeting. They were able to put on a presentation to really explain in detail. James Heiser did a wonderful job to explain their budget to the public, and they explained why they have a 6.7% increase. Basically, same reasons we do, health insurance continuing to rise, among other things. So that's it.
Thank you. Matt?
All right.
Scott, I'm sorry, Scott.
Okay. Since committee last gave updates on April 20th, I missed that meeting. I was in Atlantic City at the New Jersey Emergency Preparedness Conference. I attended our fire company meeting on April 27th. Regular business occurred. I missed the fire commission meeting on April 28th and the Board of Ed meeting on the 29th, being due to being out of the state on vacation. I did attend the Board of Ed budget hearing and presentation on the future of the district. I will try to be brief, but there's a lot of information. Walnut Street School will be opening again back in September to middle school students. There are some costs associated with capital improvements that are required due to the reopening, which are required due to the state Department of Ed requirements, which also include ADA ramps and the like. As reported previously, the district leased out 3 classrooms in each building to the Yale School for 10 years at $300,000 per year. This, along with bringing back transportation in-house in the district for a savings of $100,000 a year, incredibly helped the budget this year. But even with that, there's that modest tax increase. Those with a home of average assessment of $195,000 will see a $230 increase per year. What hurt the district was, again, we saw a reduction in state aid of $66,000, while Beverly got $425,000 more, and Riverside and Delran got about $1.7 million more in state aid. And like Mrs. Mentioned, also what hurt the budget was the state health care benefits. They had a 39% increase in their costs, or $481,000. And this is the same thing that hurt our township budget, and it's a state health plan that's in a death spiral, as they say. The Board of Ed did pass the budget. Then last Wednesday on May 13th, I attended the monthly Board of Ed meeting. Nothing major to report out of there. I was at the aforementioned Emergency Preparedness Conference from April 20th to the 23rd as part of my duties as the Deputy Emergency Management Coordinator for the town. Myself and Coordinator Rob Vierick annually have to get 24 CEUs, continuing education units, for those positions, and the conference is always a good place for us to get them, and of course meet with fellow emergency management professionals, as well as see the event hall and all the vendors and the exhibitors and the like. This year I took a 3-day class, Public Information Officer, which satisfied all my CEUs for the year. Public Information Officer is exactly how it sounds, all forms of communication with the public and the media, and that's something that's always been important to me and what I've always endeavored to do with our residents, but it was great to learn some new techniques and methods. And the instructors are with the New Jersey State Police Office of Emergency Management. These two guys were actually the ones that went down to North Carolina after the Hurricane Helene floods and went over to California during the wildfires, and they actually replaced the California Office of Emergency Management people because they were apparently very inept. So our New Jersey guys were actually reporting and advising directly to Gavin Newsom. So these two guys who ran the class clearly know what they are doing. Rob took 3 one-day classes on warning coordination, which works with the National Weather Service, mitigation for emergency management, active shooter emergency management, and effective emergency operations center operations. So it was a valuable few days for the both of us. Speaking of emergency management, I attended numerous planning meetings for the Centennial Car Show that occurred this past Saturday. I'm just going to touch on the emergency management aspect of it all. The event was a huge event to plan for. We had the full length of Delaware Avenue closed off, as you know, 10 side streets, and the last block of each was closed off, not to mention all of the people coming to visit the event from both in town and out of town. That's general public and exhibitors. I coordinated with the County Fire Police Association to get assistance, as well as Burlington County to acquire barriers for the roadways through our OEM connections, and of course created our incident action plan and traffic control plan for the event. And we really haven't had the scale of events in Delanco ever, I think I could say. I've been here for 20 years this year, and besides last year's Fall Fest at Field of Dreams, bless you, these are firsts for all of us, so it's a learning curve and growing curve. With something like this, advanced communication is important, and communication during the event is important, and of course a post-mortem after the event for any lessons learned. And there will be lessons learned, which is a good thing. But aside from one resident's rightful complaint due to a miscommunication with a fire police officer about what block was closed, from a public safety standpoint, and I think Chief you'd agree with me, the event went off without a hitch.
No complaints at all.
I'll be brief on the rest of the event since I know the other committee people were here for it, but from every other standpoint, I've heard nothing but great things about the event. I was there since 7:30 in the morning helping set up with the others, and it culminated in an event where people were raving about. If I said it was a well-attended event, that would be the biggest understatement of the year. A rough estimation, I would say between 1,500 to 2,000 people were in attendance. It was perfect weather, and that drew in the crowds. People were saying this was one of the best car shows they have ever been to, and they can't wait for it to happen again. Big congrats and thanks to all involved, especially for Carolyn for coming up with this idea and just running with it. About 20 years ago or so, the recently late John Rankamp developed some properties here in town into affordable housing units. The business was under the name of Delanco Renaissance. This event right here this past weekend, this was the Delanco Renaissance, or rebirth, bringing culture and ideas for a new era of excitement in our town. None of us up here will be on committee forever. Maybe Ms. Fitzpatrick another 25 years, but the rest of us, we're all going to be gone. It's up to future township committee members to keep up this renaissance going into the future. And finally, for emergency management, we'll be working on our upcoming events, including National Night Out and the Centennial Celebration, because fail to plan to fail. That's all I have. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Fern?
Let's see, April 30th, attended the active shooter training. Mrs. Russell and Ms. Seminara was there in attendance, and it was a good presentation. The active shooter training that we received was more from an administration point of view versus a real active shooting situation. And to my recollection, the chief has done some training here between the school and
Yes.
with our staff here, and I guess there's some more follow-up that we're going to have.
Yes.
On May 6th, let's see, we had, read my own notes. The History Board had their monthly meeting there, and we're planning for the different events that are coming up here in town and with the county. On May 10th, the Library Association had a reshuffling, or I guess a reorganization of the association. Christine Holland is the president. Linda Wee is the vice president. Tom Lord thankfully kept his position as the treasurer because he does an amazing job with the budget and the finances for the library. And let's see, Mary Wood is the new secretary. So they're planning on things that are happening within the library now and looking at the future of the library. So they've got a lot of work that they're taking on and looking at. Let's see. On May 14th, during the day, the school had an outdoor assembly on bullying, and they had this large truck, which is like I guess a transformer.
Optimus Prime, yeah.
Okay, everyone knew this, and I was like, I guess I need to go either start watching some more movies with the grandkids to get caught up on some of these things. But it was a great assembly. I believe the children got a lot out of it, and the chief was there with some of the officers, along with the committee, the township committee, and some folks, I believe, from the school board were also in attendance. But Mr. Joe, who drives the truck, I think spoke to the heart of the children. He was very down to earth with his messaging. And then that evening, at the school, they had their, I guess it's history display, and they had in the gymnasium, students set up with being a character or someone from history, and on the floor they had a little piece of paper that says push. So you, as the person visiting, you push the button, and then they told their story of the character that who they were, and it was very, very informative there. In the cafeteria of the history board, we had the alligator, the model of the alligator there for the public to see, and the art teacher had all the classes do a quilt out of paper. It was art paper, but so each square student, and each individual student drew pictures of different, I guess, historical events or historical things here in town. So they had a good turnout there. And let's see, and again, the car show on Saturday, great turnout, people interacting, very, very casual. It was a lot of fun. And So for the Carolyn Seuss in Recreation and the members that put all the work into it, and again, folks have said that it takes more than one person to put this together, and it definitely was a team. You could see the teamwork that was in there and the planning that took place. So again, thank you for all the folks that were involved in that. And on that note,
Thank you, Fern. Phil?
I just have a few things besides, I attended all the school board meetings and the budget meeting, and Matt covered it Scott covered it extremely well. I did attend on 5/5 the joint land use board meeting. 2407 Burlington Avenue requested a continuation. They wanted a continuation to review a report that was sent to them by the township engineer, or not the township, the joint land use board engineer. And they are rescheduled for the next meeting on June 3rd. I also attended Meet the Mayor at the library, and I want to thank the library for holding the event. It was very nice. Thank you. Also, I attended the car show, which I have to say was probably one of the best events Delanco's had. I'm a lifelong resident. I've lived here all my life, and I've never seen something come together so smooth. Yes, there were some burps, but I do believe that's something we'll grow on for the next event. We do have many more events coming up. Our first summer concert starts on June 4th at Hawk Island Marina, and then they'll be every 2 weeks up through the year. We also have the 29th, 28th. At the historic waterfront park, we'll be having another event down there. So if you guys get the chance, please come out and attend. Thank you. That's
of course, the parade.
Well, I'm
Our
not,
parade, yeah.
I'm not chinking the parade.
Yeah, we don't want to, we're crossing our fingers for the weather.
It was saying rain all the way up until
Yeah.
6 o'clock news tonight.
You got plenty of time.
Yeah, thank you, Phil. Okay, I did attend all the school board meetings, the 29th, the 6th, April 29th, May 6th, May 13th, and I was there for the budget presentation. Dr. Tarashi has certainly done a great job in improvements to the programs, as well as opening the Walnut Street School, renting classrooms to Yale, and saving the district over $100,000 by having their own busing. I also was there when the Board of Ed honored Dr. Teresi, and it was really nice to see that he was recognized for everything he's doing for our children. I attended the assembly at the school, which it was Optimus Prime and Bumblebee, and what a great presentation for the kids. They thoroughly enjoyed it, and they certainly learned a message about dealing with bullies, how to be kind and more considerate. And the students for the project that Fern was talking about, for their history, it was supposed to be like a wax museum. So when you push that button, they actually tell you about the character that they're representing. Some were old characters, some were current athletes. It was just excellent. I mean, what a great project. Also the quilt. I had suggested they do a quilt because the second grade did one in 1976, and so they did it in paper, which is just a great thing for them to acknowledge some history in town. I also attended a Zoom meeting with our professionals in Carolyn regarding 401 Creek Road, which we hope to have a presentation soon. We're working on something. I hope you utilize Public Works for cleanup, and also the shredding event that the township held for free for our residents. It's always a great event, and of course the Scouts did a great job selling their sandwiches and hot dogs. Recreation, everything is moving forward for the 250th birthday of America in conjunction with Riverside and Delran. That will be June 28th at our historic waterfront park. And our 100th birthday celebration will be September 26th. at Field of Dreams. Summer camp is, registration's open. Summer concerts are set, as Phil said, and attended the car show, of course. And my comment to almost anybody who came up to me was that Delanco has the most beautiful waterfront property in the state of New Jersey, which I don't think many people even knew. But they certainly knew by the time they left that show. And kudos to Carolyn and her team, the Township Committee, Recreation, everyone who had some part in that. It was just a wonderful event. And as Matt said, or Scott said, we have continued to grow and we have continued to add programs through the years. And so this is just another big event that has been added and puts a feather under everyone's cap. So it's really, I was very proud of everything, and want to acknowledge everybody who worked on that. The Sewer Authority met, and our projects for 2026 consist of a new control panel for Hickory Street Pump Station and relining the issues on Larchmont and Delview from manhole to manhole. We're waiting for a pre-construction meeting on that. Premises, they passed inspection by our JIF, and I had indicated before that Beverly is working on a process of installing headwork systems that will consist of two screening processes. One is for rags, and one is for like solids, like dirt, sand, and what have you. And that's what I'm meaning is rags. People actually throw rags through the system. I mean, it's gloves. They'll have gloves. They'll have wipes, which even though the wipe says it's not, they're not disposable that way, not through our system. So anyway, keep that in mind. Our operator's report is on file, and we'll be meeting Zoom for June, July, and August. 721 Delaware Avenue, I'm working on obtaining 2 more statues of Ruth D. Affairs sculptures. The lot has been sold, and to my knowledge, I got the contact information for the purchaser today, and I hope to speak to him about the ice house, which is on that property, to see if we can preserve it and somehow get an easement for the History Board and Delanco Township to keep that intact. So that's my duties for the last month.
I just wanted to mention one other thing, to mark your calendar for National Night Out on August 4th with the police department, followed by the Centennial Fireworks Show at Field of Dreams. So just mark your calendar for that big event too. So it's going to be a fun summer.
Yes, be great. Thank you. Okay, consent agenda items. Consent agenda items are considered to be routine and will be enacted with a single motion. Any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda. All consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes. Does anyone have anything they want to?
Yeah, Mayor, for the first item, ordinance 2026, I think that's 06, it says first reading by title only, set public hearing for today. It should be June 15th.
Yeah, it's got to be changed.
Yeah.
Would that be June the 4th?
15.
Oh, 15. Oh, that's right. We're not meeting till
Yeah,
the 15th.
that's what's in the actual ordinance.
Ordinance,
attached,
yes. Thank you, Matt. Anything else? Okay. Ordinance 2026, it says 8 on my agenda.
The agenda is correct. It's
Okay.
in your packet.
Right. Okay. Amending Chapter 240, governing sidewalk and curb repair, first reading by title only, and set the public hearing for June 15th, 2026 at 7 p.m. Resolution 2026-81, award of contract to Vex Sourcewell Government Fleet Card Program for participation in fuel card program through Sourcewell Cooperative Purchase. Resolution 2026-82, authorizing transfer of funds to Delanco Heritage Celebration, Inc. Resolution 2026-83, refund of tax overpayment. 2026 Resolution 84, resolution to cancel taxes and refund tax overpayment due to total veterans exemption pursuant to NJSA 54:4-3, 30A. Approve payment of bills in the amount of $1,750,973.10 as per the bill list run date May 18th, 2026. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda item.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, Scott and Carolyn, roll call, please.
Mr. Bartlett.
Yes.
Mr. McFadden.
Yes.
Mr. Olet.
Yes.
Ms. Seuss.
Yes.
Ms. Fitzpatrick.
Yes. Resolution 2026-85 is authorizing consumption of alcohol on municipal property on June 28th, 2026. Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Bartlett.
Yes.
Mr. McFadden.
Yes.
Mr. Olet.
No.
Ms. Seuss.
Yes.
Ms. Fitzpatrick.
Yes. Okay, the meeting is open to the public for comments and questions, general questions now. This is session 2. Please state your name and address for the record.
Yeah, my name is Harold Klingler, and I live at 509 Buttonwood Street. And I have a number of issues I would like to talk about. So I'll just go over 'em quickly, the different issues, and then maybe you can address some of them. So the first issue is street cleaning. So back several meetings ago, and it would have been exactly when the township administrator was her first meeting. I had asked about if there was possible to make a schedule for street cleaning similar to other schedules that we have, so people would know when the street cleaning was going to happen. And also that when it's not possible, that they could be doing Burlington Avenue, which is, where most of the stuff comes from. So I was wondering, and I think, if I remember, it was laid into the lap of the administrator to come up with a schedule. And I was wondering, did that ever happen?
Not to my knowledge. I know that they did do a sweeping of all the streets a few weeks ago, and they'll probably be doing more right before the parade as well. But I'll follow up with the administrator to see if she's working on something with Public Works.
Yeah, because it would just make it easier on everybody if there was some kind of schedule.
Right, and it's nice if everyone has the township's email address. They're on our email list so that when there is a schedule for something like that, and they do an email blast, so you're all notified. And because instead of going on Facebook and saying, "Are they sweeping the streets today?" get your name in on our website so that you can receive the notices.
Yeah, I've done that. And,
Good.
And I know there was also problems with the website and the email, even when you got your name on there, that you still weren't getting emails. So it took a while for me to get mine straightened out, but I finally did.
Good.
And
Just
then
a quick note about
as
the
you bring
county.
that up, I understand maybe there's something going on with the website or something, or there might be some improvements, or
Yes.
another company or something like that.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Yeah, so that's probably helpful too.
Just a quick note, Burlington Avenue, the county takes care of street
Oh,
sweeping
I
on
understand that.
Yeah.
I understand about the
So
county.
they never tell us when they're doing it. They just do it.
Yeah, they just do it.
But, yeah, the county's a whole nother issue. I understand that. But they're not going to do anything if nobody, says anything to them. Just like anybody else, so. As a guy once told me, the squeaky wheel gets oiled, so that's just the way it is. The next thing was the Centennial Park, which used to be the Vine Street Park. I know I saw there was, on the back here somewhere, there was going to be some questions about it or something, or whatever, I don't know.
Yeah, the improvements are going to be approved, and we're moving forward with that. Harry usually puts that in his monthly report, and he wasn't at the meeting last week, but he
Right.
had sent it under separate cover. So that will, he's going to send that out to bid. I think it's May 22nd.
So it might be a little too late, I'm guessing now, to make any changes to the park.
It depends. I mean, we have a plan for the park, and then we have an alternate. I'm not sure what you're asking.
Well, I thought it would be a great idea if, similar to Lou's Deli, the street over there, the one-way street at Lou's Deli, the township or whoever is in charge put in a mess of diagonal parking spaces so that there was more parking in that area. And I just thought, since we have the ice cream store right there, and we also have a lot of renters in the area, that it would be, since that property's there, we might be able to do this similar to that and put in a bunch of diagonal parking on that street instead of just having a couple of spaces for a couple of cars, which would take up some of that space, I assume, in that park. So,
It's a little late for that.
I don't see there being enough room
Right.
It would take the
I don't
majority
think
of
the
park.
street's wide enough.
versus what it's like at Lou's.
And you can only park on one side at that point, so it's actually less parking.
Yeah, so, yeah,
Yeah, you'd end up losing all the parking against the ice cream bar.
right, because you have parking on both sides because it's a one-way street, and,
yeah, but I believe
Lou's
on
Deli
Lou's
has-
Deli, it's only parking on one side.
right.
Right.
I don't think you'd get as many
If
parking
you do, you're
places as you have.
proposing, you lose spaces, because right now you can park on both sides of the street, all the way up to Buttonwood.
Right.
On Lou's, you're only parking on one side to
Okay,
Buttonwood, but you
okay,
keep
I
it.
see
It
what
could
you, I
be-
see what you're, I see what
Yeah.
you're saying. Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
You would lose
yeah,
spaces, unfortunately.
okay.
Yeah.
So, and the next item was the school, and I don't know whose idea it was to close Walnut Street School. Some people seem to think it's the school board. Some people seem to think it's the county, because they actually control the school board. But after reading and also what M. Scott brought up tonight about, well, it's going to cost us money to open the school, I was wondering whoever closed it, maybe they should foot the bill to reopen it. If that's the county, and I assume they couldn't have closed it without the county's blessing. So maybe the county should be paying for reopening it. And I don't know if there was ever a study done. Do we have enough kids in Delanco that we should even have a school at all? Should we have a school? Should we have teachers? Should we have a superintendent? Should we have all those costs when it might be just cheaper to send them to another school?
June 17th, Hal. That's the date to
That's
go to
the
the
next
school board
meeting.
meeting. We have
Yeah.
zero
Yeah.
control over the
That's
school
where
board.
you
Well, no, I understand
Yeah.
that. You have to go to the school board
Right.
because, but it seems to be, a one-way street. It's like they sort of do whatever they want in this town, and whether it's the county driving them or whether it's them on the school board, and it's just up to taxpayers just to foot the bill no matter what idea they come up with.
The problem, Hal, is none of the taxpayers go to the school board meetings to express any of their opinions.
Yeah.
Well,
At
yeah, well,
ever.
that could,
Last week, it was, the room was packed. They did the Student of the Month awards and whatnot. As soon as the Student of the Month award's over, and you could count on this like clockwork, every single month, it's a ghost town. The only people left in the meeting are usually myself and other committee members who happen to be there, or teachers.
I understand
Yeah, that's
that,
the
but I
problem.
think the taxpayers are misguided. They think that because they vote on what the school board can put put forth is, for the taxpayers to pay, that they vote on it, up and down on the budget and stuff. Well, they say, well, there's no reason to go up there and talk about money because, we'll just vote it up or vote it down, but then somehow, right, we're getting charged anyway, whether there's a vote on it or not. So, like you talked about tonight, we're going to pay like $200 some more a year. I don't know if there's going to be a vote on that because it's school board money.
There was a public hearing that nobody showed up to
There was
about
a
it.
public
At the
hearing.
school, there was a public hearing.
And we were all there.
So that's not going to be part of the budget to vote up and down, though.
Nobody
No.
voted
There is
up
no.
and down.
It was
There's
alre-
not going to be a budget to vote up or down.
Right.
that already was passed. That law ended years ago, probably around 2005 or 6, where there was a separate budget approval, and if it didn't pass, it had to come to the township committee for approval or cuts. But that changed many years ago. I'm not sure of the exact date, but I was on the township committee when the township committee had to approve it or disapprove it, so that it's passed.
Yeah.
Their budget has passed. But I would suggest you certainly go to the school board meetings and express your concerns, because if nobody goes and expresses their concerns, how will they know how the residents feel? I mean, personally, I had wished that Walnut Street never closed, but there were some financial issues, and they didn't have the money in the budget to keep it open or what have you. So, but I mean, I'm glad they're opening it. I realize it is going to be a cost to us, but in the future, it will be a benefit to us. It'll be a benefit to the
And
taxpayers.
that may be, but I'm just saying that the average person, I mean, who listens to the stuff, right, says, well, wait a minute. Well, we can't afford to keep it open, so we close it. Well, now we can afford to open it, but now we're going to have to pay. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, it depends on the
And-
leadership, I think.
And
There
it
was
has to
some,
do, and I believe it has to do with,
it was
new
fine.
people come in, new people have new jobs, and sometimes they want to make that job a little bigger and embellish it. And, next thing you know, they want a high school, and then they want a college, and they want to be the chancellor, and, it goes on and on and on. And we're just a tiny little town here.
But we still have to educate our kids, and if we sent them out of district, we still have to pay over $20,000 a student, so we still have to pay, the taxpayers still have to pay
Oh,
for
no, I
education.
understand that, and I was just saying, that, when I talked about that, if there's been a study done at all,
I think,
what it costs to send the kids out and get rid of the teachers, the superintendent, the workers over there, all those, the medical, the retirement, all that stuff we're paying for. It's just not just the kids. It's all that stuff we're paying for. If we got rid of all that baggage,
Easier said than done, because where are we going to send them? Nobody can absorb 365 kids. So it's the problem that all these little districts are having. The school pushes for consolidation, and it's not that easy.
yeah.
There's been studies over the years, they've looked at, the best way, and there's just not an easy answer, so.
And I saw a gentleman running for office, I think it was in Burlington Township, online. He had proposed making I think it was called the Delaware River Waterfront School District of every community from, I think it was from either Florence or Burlington Township, all the way down through and including Delanco and Edgewater Park, to consolidate them into a district. And that was one of his points for running for office. Now, I have no idea what party it is, nor do I care, but someone, probably never told him that the township committee has zero control over that.
right, and
But again, what Carolyn just said, let's close Pearson and Walnut. We got 365 kids. They have to go somewhere. So there's not you're not going to start dividing them up. Kids closest to the bridge go to Edgewater Park to McGowan, and kids
Yeah.
closest to the Beverly side go over to Beverly City School. It's just it's a great idea to try to save money. I just don't see it ever happening in my
Yeah.
lifetime.
mine either. But I
I-
will
yeah.
say that a few years
I would
back,
sorry,
Go ahead,
Mayor.
John. Go ahead.
I would recommend that on June 17th, you go to the school board meeting. However, what I would do is before you go to the meeting, can you correct me, how many days prior to submit your questions? 2 days prior to the meeting, go to the school board's website and you can submit your questions. This way they'll have an answer. If you go there and just come out of the audience.
Okay.
There was a study that they were working on a few years back, regionalization, and actually, I think our interim superintendent was Walter, I can't think of his last name, but he was once the Burlington County Superintendent of Schools, and it never came to any fruition because even if they regionalize schools, they still need the buildings. They're not going to move somebody from Delanco to Edgewater Park or Riverside. They're going to stay, yeah, and then the transportation is an issue, so they're going to stay in those buildings. And I mean, I remember going to the meetings then and hearing this. So they have done some research. I think when they closed Walnut, whatever, I mean, I know there were some financial issues, but they really thought Pearson would fit everyone, and apparently it hasn't done the job. So they came up with ways of making money to bring in $300,000 a year to help keep that school open. And I think that is great for the kids. So they have enough room, they have a classroom to attend. I mean, I realize the tax impact is unfortunate for residents, but you know, these kids are our future, so we need to do what we can to educate them in a nice environment or a comfortable environment.
I understand that contract is a pretty long contract
10 years.
for $300,000.
Yeah, 10 years.
And by the time it gets out past 5 years, that $300,000 is going to be like nothing.
It's $300,000 a year, though, Hal.
Yeah, nothing after 5 years. And then you're going to still be getting that for 10 years. I mean,
I like to look at it as glass half full.
Yeah, me too.
And just one final thought on that with consolidating districts. The school district where I went to in Long Island, it was a huge school district, 22 square miles. We had 22 elementary schools, 4 middle schools, a 9th grade center, a high school complex that literally was 6 city blocks long. So all that area into one district. When you have that, think of the administrative overhead to run that. There's the school superintendent, the assistant school superintendent, the assistant school superintendent for history, the assistant.
well,
so
you know,
on and so
I
forth.
understand that,
It's
Scott. I mean,
ridiculous.
we're not talking New York City here. We're talking Delanco.
I'm
So,
talking Long Island. I'm not talking
so-
New York City even.
right.
I'm talking
So
about suburbs,
when you get into
suburbs,
it, when you get into a gigantic place like that, you know, this is a little tiny town.
Consolidation's
ours.
nice on paper, but it doesn't make sense. Years back, they did a study to consolidate police departments because all these little towns have police departments. And once all said and done, there was no cost savings. It didn't make any sense. The cost savings, you still have to have a chief, you still have to have certain locations, the services wouldn't be as effective. So it looks good, it's a good concept, but it doesn't always make sense. So that's kind of where we're at.
And Delanco, actually, if we had consolidated, I was involved when we were doing the negotiation with Beverly, it would have actually cost us more
Yeah.
for our police to go with Beverly. So, I mean, these issues are looked into, whether or not people understand that, but we do research different forms of trying to save money, or methods. So, you know.
We all pay the taxes as well. We're not.
Yeah, we do. It's not
Unfortunately,
like
we're not exempt.
we don't get any free
Yeah.
free here. But
All right.
anything else?
Thank you.
Hal? Okay. Anyone else?
Evening, everybody. Al Graybob, 1605 Second Street, Chair of Recreation. Saturday was an amazing time. I just want to thank a lot of people that actually helped out. We had volunteers from our town, Nicole Doms, Caitlin D'Agostino, and Lisa Reif, who are both on the Riverside Car Show Committee. Matt Hester, one of our town's biggest assets when we need help, is Joanne Schwinline. She's always out there to help us. Carolyn reached out to ask us for photographers. We had Joe Rogers and Mason Hopkins, who's also on the volunteer on the Board of Education. But the Delanco Police Department, Delanco Fire Department were both amazing. Fire Police was run very well by Committeeman Bartlett. He really took the reins of that. Public Works, we had Larry and Zach. They were unbelievable. They were on top of all the trash. They kept the street amazingly clean throughout the whole event. Erin Provenzano, who's our rec coordinator, she was the motor behind this. She was the one who got everything scheduled for us. Erin and Jessica worked the township tent, which was great. We had a ton of sponsors, which really helped us out, so the township didn't have to accrue all the cost of that. Our Recreation Committee, we had Kristen Atkinson there, Jen Boisine, Steve Lohr, Stephen Jass, Ryan Walter, Tony Bartlett, who's our co-chair, and my right arm, Phil McFadden, longtime chair of Recreation. We can't do what we do without Phil being on Recreation. It's a huge undertaking that he's always taken on. As far as our Township Committee, Committeeman Bartlett was there, helped out the best he could. Committeeman Bartlett stopped by to make sure everything was okay. Mary did a great job helping with the pretzels and water and T-shirts. Bill was everywhere, like usual. And last but not least, our previous mayor, and hopefully soon to be mayor again, Carolyn Seuss. Many, many days, hours, weeks went by with her head buried in a laptop, on the phone with so many people, rounding up money so this way the township didn't have to accrue the cost, and literally making sure every I was dotted and T was crossed. Countless hours of her being on top of everything. So Recreation helped Carolyn and Delanco Heritage run this event. We had 146 or 148 cars. Next year, we're hoping to have at least 200. For our first year, it was a great event. We had a couple people that had complaints on their cars. One didn't want pollen on his car in May. I don't know why he even came. But other than that, no problems at all. And like some of you had said, we had a lot of people that said they want to come back. Like you said, Mayor, nobody knew Delanco existed until that day. We had people come from Philadelphia, Cream Ridge, New Jersey. I can't believe the areas they came from, Hatboro, Horsham. So how they found out about us, I don't know. A little unhappy that they know about us now because they'll be back, hopefully for the better. But I wanted to thank the township for really standing behind Recreation, and especially Carolyn standing behind her and allowing us to do these events. It really means a lot to the township.
Thank you, Al.
Thanks.
Stephen?
It's funny, Joanne, I said I wasn't going to say anything, but since the topic came up at the Township Committee, I'll leave a lot of what I have to say to the next school board meeting, but since the gentleman raised the issue here, and the Township Committee has repeatedly attended the school board meetings praising the superintendent and the school board for their efforts, and I do echo those sentiments. I think the superintendent has a plan. He is looking for new revenue streams, and I wish him success, and I hope he is successful. But where the Board of Education, and I'm speaking as a former Board of Ed member, where they're going to need your help, and where the Board of Ed, I think, and the Township Committee is going to have to build a coalition, is you're going to have to work together to ensure that the state aid cuts do not continue. Because in the end, that is my opinion, that is what is going to get the small districts like Delanco. And at one time, consolidation may not have made sense, but the state aid could make it make sense. And I think that is where, if you read the news articles, especially with this new administration, they're trying to make the numbers make sense for these small districts to basically force consolidation. If I don't, I think it was last year there was a proposal where the state wants to make this county superintendents develop a plan for all districts that have a population under 400. Come up with a plan for those districts to consolidate with larger districts. So when you're talking someone, I believe it was you, Committeeman Bartlett, that said, when you have $1.7 million going to Delran and you have $1.7 million going to Riverside, and you have, how much did you say went to Beverly?
425.
425. And Delanco gets lucky if we're break even these days.
Yeah, we were cut.
That is where our district is going to struggle. So I do wish the Board of Education and the superintendent much success in trying to develop new revenue streams and building that for Delanco. But again, the school board is going to need the Township Committee's help in, and you, sir, you said it perfectly, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. In fact, Cherry Hill just had school district just had a Zoom meeting that I saw on NJ.com, and they were basically on with their state representative saying, state aid is a problem. Well, and that's Cherry Hill. This is Delanco. So since it came up at the Township Committee, I just wanted to point that out, that is where I think the school board is really going to need the Township Committee's help in getting our grievances and our issues with the state aid figures, getting them recognized by our state representatives. Because, like I said, it's great that, Delanco is moving forward and developing these new, initiatives for revenue. But if you don't fix the state aid numbers, mark my words, that will be what forces Delanco to consolidate, because this is what the state's going to say. We're not funding your small district. So you have a
Right.
choice. You can operate as you do, and you can continue to tax your working class community, blue collar community, or you can consolidate. So, but like I said, I will stay positive because I think you have a good school board who is supporting their superintendent. He seems like a man with a plan to try to rejuvenate the school district, create new revenue streams. But long term, if the state aid formula is not fixed in favor of the small districts, that is what will do Delanco School District in. So again, $300,000, I agree. I was on this finance subcommittee. $300,000 is a lot for I believe at the time it was $10 million. It's a lot for our district. But with the state aid, $300,000 can quickly become nothing.
Right.
So that is where, like I said, you need to pay attention and make sure you work with your school board in really defending our school district and its budget. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. Anyone else?
Joanne Schlinwine, 316 Oakland Avenue, and I'm going to speak on behalf of myself and not the school board. I attend all the meetings. There are three things going on that are very good. First of all, it's not just our wonderful relationship with this township committee, which has been for years. It's very unique, and I've said that before just as a resident, right? We have a wonderful relationship with our senator and our two assembly people, and we're in constant contact. And what's unique about Delanco is the beauty, and it's the people that want to move here where their kids may need additional services. So there's actually a bill being fast-tracked for the funding of our special needs kids to be actuary. Right now, under the current funding source, it's 15.8% of your population gets that additional funds for your special ed population. It's it's Senator Singleton, along with the chair of the Education Subcommittee, that have joined forces to fast-track a bill to get that funding per child. In Delanco, almost 34% of our kids are in need of additional services. That is a huge consideration with our budget. You also have a superintendent that now has 5 titles. We did not hire additional staff for administration. And this year, he started July, and we've already saved about $500,000 from transportation, from consolidation of other services, for not resourcing things out, and most importantly, for me just being a resident, is bringing some of our kids back that were in an out-of-district placement. As an example, transportation for one child to a private school in this county costs us $68,000 a year in transportation costs for one. That's not tuition costs. That's not one-on-one. That's not summer programming. So I can assure you, as a citizen that attends meetings, the collaboration is thoughtful. It is strategic. We have a wonderful relationship with all of you, with so many of our employees and other department heads that make our district very unique. So when we talk about these things, it's a huge endeavor, and we can actually get residents paperwork, an easy read to help explain this, okay? Pemberton Township had a tax increase of 27.8%. It's all over the place, and if we can get some things, we have not had a tax increase for years. We had 2% something, 2.17%, I believe, last year. We've remained steady. This is not just about opening up Walnut It really is the infrastructure with the cost that we can't control. Another side note that you learned is that we're going to have vocational services for our kids. And there are going to be certifications along with that. And I believe we're going to be the only school district, not only in the county, but the state, that's going to have these certifications. And it aligns with our sending district, which is Riverside. So there's a lot of strategic planning going on as just a resident of our town. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanne.
Thank you.
Anyone else? I'll close this portion of the meeting to the public. And the first item on the discussion is the Centennial Park improvement and timeline. I just wanted the committee to see this because Harry wasn't at the last meeting. He had sent this under separate cover to our administrator, and I just wanted everybody to see that there's the base bid, and then there's two alternatives there. So the total construction cost could be $139,100, which actually is quite reasonable considering what the initial proposal was. So I just wanted you to see it. If anybody has any questions or what have you, feel free to email Harry. But I'm sure that this is really, we did take a couple items out. We took the fencing out because we didn't need it because there's not going to be a play area there where they're going to be kicking a ball. But everything else is pretty much standard. And with Centennial Park, you can buy a brick. We're selling bricks. They're $100 a piece. So you go onto the website and go under Delanco Centennial, and you can buy a brick. And I think we have about 30 some left. We're selling 100 of them, and they will be placed around the garden area, which will be a circular. And then we will have one of the statues from Ruthie in the middle of the heart statue in that garden. So if you haven't bought your brick yet, I would suggest you buy a brick. It's a great way. Yeah, okay, good. All right, anybody have any questions about this Centennial Park? We hope to, I think, I didn't see I know the timelines here. I think,
Yeah, let's talk about the clock.
well, the clock is on here.
Right, but no. You had a choice of two different clocks.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah,
I had a question.
yes.
How much different is it going to look compared to how it looks now?
Well, I think it's going to look a lot different because the one section there's nothing done with the one section that the county donated. There's going to be a brick walkway with a brick-centered area with a garden in the middle. And
So the brick walkway that's there now, is that going to stay?
not the sidewalk area. That brick's staying, but we're doing a different type of a garden area. Let me see if I don't have the plan.
It's like a remodel, basically, just
Yeah,
kind of changing
it's a
where
renovation.
things are.
Yeah, because there's a brick walkway that goes through the
Yeah,
park now.
right, exactly.
Right,
but-
with a little garden there.
It's going to be,
And then you got the open property on the other side at the county.
right, but it's now ours.
Right.
So it's like Carolyn said, it's going to be giving it a nice facelift so that we can dedicate it as our Centennial Park.
Mhm.
We're going to bury a capsule there when we do dedicate it.
Mhm.
And anyone who buys a brick, I'll get that information to make sure they all get invited to the dedication ceremony. And I think it'll be a nice improvement for that curve in town. Since it is
Oh,
kind of like...
I got no argument there. I was just wondering what it's going to look like. 'Cause
Yeah, it's gonna
I haven't
look-
seen like a rendering.
It's going to
I mean,
look
I've seen
good.
that flyer, but that looks
Oh, that's,
nothing like what.
Maybe we could get Hal a copy of the plans or the option
Yeah.
plans that we have.
yeah, you can, maybe we can send that out to him,
Yeah,
Beth,
let's see if we can
a
get
copy
it on
of the
website
proposed
so-
plan.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah, okay.
I guess I
Do we have your email address? Make sure you talk to
Yeah,
Beth.
I'm on the township email.
Well, we're not going to
I think
email
Bev
it
said she'll
to...
put it on the website, so. we
Oh,
can
well,
find it
that's
on
what we'll
there.
do.
I'll
Or
let you
just
know when it's up
put it
there,
on the
Hal.
website or whatever.
I'll let you know when it's up.
Yeah. We're not going to email to everybody. Okay, the clock, okay.
Yeah. I hope we can use that as our focal point.
Yeah, I mean, I had so many residents contact me and say, what do we need a clock for? not just one or two, but anyway, because number one, they don't work. Number two, it's too costly to upkeep but ever since I got on township committee, I wanted to do a clock for the township. So, let's see we're going to see how the bids come in and where we are. And I think it would be a nice added addition to that park to have a clock there. And which one does the township committee prefer?
I like the one on the left, the Booker.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Booker
Because I'm
too.
wondering if this is
It's a little more,
glass.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it's a little more.
it's a little classier.
classy, exactly.
Yeah, this is a little, I
The
don't know.
Booker. The
The
Windsor
Book- yeah.
kind of looks more like the street lights. It looks like the same
Yeah,
type of
yeah.
It's a little
Booker
cheap
base.
looking.
Okay, yeah, so that's what we'll do, the Booker, right? Everybody's in agreement, okay.
As long as it says Delanco at the top, not Forest
Yes,
Lake.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, we
not
have
order the
such a
sample.
cost savings by having Harry revise everything.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's not going to put us over in any capacity,
It's,
so.
it's on the other one was almost double this.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this is well worth it, and I think you'll see a nice improvement there. I hope you bought a brick, right? No, I didn't buy a brick. Oh,
Well, fork over your money, Hal. You're going to buy one tonight.
you should buy a brick. Here, you want this flyer? Oh, well, here, you want to see the clock? It's in our packet. Unfortunately, it's not in. Well,
Here's the clock, Hal.
You're just going to be surprised when we do the
yeah, we
unveiling.
need
How
to
about that?
surprise you
It'll
with
be a
something,
surprise, Hal.
and we look forward to you coming back to the meeting and saying how happy you are with the Centennial Park.
You'll be able to tell the time from your house, Hal. Just look down the
Yeah.
block, and there it is.
Yeah, you probably can. Anything else? Anybody have anything else?
God, no.
Mayor, I have two pieces of correspondence.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Bev. Yeah, I forgot
I was at
that.
the bottom of the page, I think we just.
Oh, yes.
I received an email from Christine Holland announcing that she is the new president for the library board of trustees. And she expressed great concern with the change in hours to the library. She did want to be here tonight, but she was traveling, so I'm sure that she will be at a future meeting where she could bring that up and make some comments. But in particular, the change in hours, she was very concerned about. And then I had a second email from Senator Singleton's administrative assistant, letting us know that he has listed in the state budget the $250,000 for reconstruction of seawall at Ash Street as a project that he hopes will be funded. So no guarantee. They're still in negotiations, but hopefully we'll hear something back.
Yeah. Cross your-
Senator is very supportive of our plan.
He is. He does a great job for Delanco. Cross your fingers on that one because we have to repair part of that seawall as DEP has requested in order to start that remediation. So this will really help us a great deal. So anything else? Anybody else?
I'm good.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Unequivocally, yes.
So, second.
All in favor?
Jane, are
Aye.
you freezing? I thought it was me.
No, I just.
Yeah, I just started getting
Ones that are
cold.
built like this.